Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I brought out a pile of my games again, and I know that I feel like I just did this not too long ago, but I have a different topic to discuss related to these things, and that is art, or I guess any creative process. And looking back at it, it's always a different experience that, and that's what I wanted to kind of talk about. And it's kind of inspired by, hopefully I'll put a picture up here, of a little Hedwig owl, Gryffindor, Harry Potter owl that my friend Beth drew. Beth's a good friend of mine, an amazing artist. This is, I think, my 6th piece of hers that's in my house. I love a lot of what she does. I love her style. And I put him up, and then, I said something about it online, and of course she deflected and said, well, it's really the frame and the matting that helps it, because I did the framing and the matting. And I'm like, no, that's not true. It's the art. But as an artist, I get it. As a person who has done a lot of art, I get it. It's because, when you're in that moment doing that thing, it's very easy to see it as a failure or as a flaw, because you notice the things that you wish you'd done differently. And so contrast that with, if I remember correctly, I'll put a picture up here. My friend Matt, who runs a little indie studio game company called Matt Warden Games, where he publishes games by Matt Warden, which is him. Has been talking a lot about some of his older designs recently, and one of his newer, it's actually an older design, but he just published it recently through Kickstarter, has a bunch of my art on it. A bunch of the layout. He approached me, it's been like 2 or 3 years ago now, and said, hey, can you do some iconography and some layout for me? And I said, absolutely, 100%, I will do that for you, because I love Matt, and he's one of the most wonderful people I've ever met. And I've, like everybody in that vein of my life, I tend to cut people out, and I shouldn't have, but I did. But so I've seen this stuff that he puts up, and I go, wow, I made that. Like, that's my art, and I like it. But I didn't then, and so looking back at other stuff, I've done a lot of things, and it's funny, like, I have a published game called Scallywags. I spent about 10 minutes designing that game. I play tested it once, and I sent it to a publisher, and it got published. That's it. That's literally the story of Scallywags. And so I have very little attachment to the game. And at that time, it was whatever, just publish it. That's fine. And so when I look at it now, it's still flawed to me, because I didn't put in any effort. And so none of it makes sense to me. It's not, quote, correct to me. So I look at it now and I'm like, whatever, it's a game. But there's this pile of games in front of me. These are games that I've self-published or put on Kickstarter. Pull, my little trap shooting card game, I put on Kickstarter. Tuesday Night Tanks, man, I loved this game. I really wish I'd have done something with it. I think I did this for a contest on the Game Crafter. Paper Route I did because somebody challenged me to make a Paperboy themed card game. I did not do this art. A friend of mine did that art for me. In fact, I paid for art in a lot of this, but a lot of the art is mine. And then finally Leathernecks. Leathernecks 43 is a little dice game. This game is actually really, really good. I really wish I'd have found a publisher for this. Maybe someday I'll revisit trying to find a publisher for it, because I'm actually really proud of the design that's in this box, and I've met a lot of people who loved playing it. But beyond that, this cover, I'm really proud of the graphic design of this game. I did all of the graphic design myself. I did all of the art and iconography myself, and it turned out great. Me Booty, wow, I thought I lost this. Is the better version of Scallywags. This is a later edition that I came out with that I like better than Scallywags. But all of this, I look at this now. When I had this printed or when I was publishing games actively on the Game Crafter or whatever, I thought this looks like crap. It's not very good. There's you know, it's too obviously fake. I wanted to try to make it look more realistic, but I failed at that. But when I look at it now, and I pull this stuff out and I see the graphic design work that I put into it, it looks really, really good. And I'm really proud of it. And I think that it takes time. You know, my rule books, I put a lot of effort into the rules. I put a lot of effort into the layout. And for some reason, I lost that passion. I lost that drive to continue to do these sorts of things. And because I lost that passion and that drive, I think is what allows me to look at this now and go, oh, you know what? This is okay. I did okay here. And I'm just curious to know, you know, if you've done any kind of art, whether it's visual art or whether it's written art like prose, wood crafting, whatever, how long does it take before you can look back at it and go, wow, I'm really proud of that? Because I feel like every artist I know looks at what they've just done and goes, eh, it could be better. They don't look at it and go, I really like that. So, I'm just curious. Let me know in the comments. As always, I want to hear from you, so please say something down there, even if it's just boo. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends, being wonderful people. I appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from animals.howstuffworks.com. What makes a firefly glow? Fireflies light up to attract a mate. To do this, the fireflies contain specialized cells in their abdomen that make light. The cells contain a chemical called luciferin and make an enzyme called luciferase. To make light, the luciferin combines with oxygen to form an inactive molecule called oxyluciferin.